Hi, welcome to Liam's Library. This is just a quick review, just a quick discussion really. Um, I've done one Joe Hill book on my whole channel. Joe Hill, of course, is Stephen King's son, but I don't think I need to say that. Joe Hill is his own writer. He writes with such character depth and such heart. I read Horns years ago, the year the film came out. And I knew it was Stephen King's son, and it took me ages to read it. I was in a kind of a bad time in my life, and I didn't really. I liked it. It was good. I just thought it was a horror novel. His characters were strong. It took a couple of years. I was in hospital for something. My girlfriend brought me two books. She brought me The Fireman by Joe Hill, which I never got around to reading, and she brought me Strange Weather. Now, Strange Weather is 4 novellas in one book by Joe Hill. And they're all loosely tied in with weather patterns, right? They're all completely different novels, none of the same recurring characters, but the theme is weather, strange weather. Now, the second book in this is what I want to talk about. It's called Loaded. Now, I'm constantly talking about this on Joe Hill pages on Facebook and Stephen King pages on Facebook. Everybody's like, what's your favourite Joe Hill? Everybody always talks about Nosferatu. And my favourite Joe Hill is the second book in Strange Weather. It's called Loaded. It takes place in California during their wildfire season, when firestorms are literally just making people evacuate and everything terrible's going on. The story is about gun control. It's about a man. Now, when you first meet him, you don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy. He's your main character. So straight away, you're feeling a bit of sympathy for him. You're following him. So you think he might be a hero. He might be your main guy, but he does something awful. And I'm not going to tell you what. This is no spoilers in this story. He does something awful at the start of the book, and you're like, oh my fucking God. And then he lies about it. And, the story is about him lying about it, about a cop trying to work it out, a reporter trying to work it out. Then you find out that he's got this gun addiction and a friend who's got lots of guns, and it's all about guns. I don't know anything about guns. I'm from southwestern Australia. I've never fired a gun in my life, and I never fucking will. I think they're fucking horrible. But this book just blew me away, literally blew me away. It's why it's called Loaded. This book packs a bullet, man. And so all these wildfires going on, and we're following that in the news while this guy, we find out he's estranged from his family. He never gets to see his son because he's so loose, because he's so tapped. I'm not going to give it away. I even wrote down here, Loaded. Don't give it away, just feels, right? So just how the book made me feel. Now, you're following this anti-hero who quickly turns from an anti-hero into a bad guy, but he's who you're reading about. And all this terrible, terrible shit is just spiraling out of control because of guns and murder and then the ending. And the ending just leaves you literally speechless. Leaves you thinking, what? There has to be one more sentence. But there's not. And you're happy about that, because if there was, it would wreck it. And it's just the most extreme, one of the best things I've ever read in my entire life. And it's hard for me to say that because, my favourite novel of all time is Floating Dragon by Peter Straub. And also Darker Than Amber by John D. MacDonald. I read good stuff. The best Stephen King novel ever written is Roadwork. I say that all the time on this channel. If you haven't checked that out, check out the 3 books I just mentioned. But also, while you're checking out Darker Than Amber by John D. MacDonald, Floating Dragon by Peter Straub, and Roadwork by Stephen King, you should make sure that you check out Loaded by Joe Hill, because it is amazing. It is horrifying. Heads up, hold your breath going in, because you're going to need every gasp. It is so intense. It is fucking brilliant. It's amazing. And it's terrifying. So I'm going to leave you there. And like I said, I've uploaded 2 videos today. So just, tune in next week for The Green Mile by Stephen King, book to film. Review by Liam's Library. Take care of one another, especially in these really dark times. Read some great books and watch some good fucking films. Bye.